This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everybody. Wow, big applause. Some people are ready for a little happy hour, huh?
I think it might have started.
Yeah.
I might have
My
started.
Topo Chico happy hour.
Do you
I don't
like
know
the?
why I just branded it.
But do you like the lime twist or the grapefruit twist or the regular?
Grapefruit's my favorite.
I'm
but
a
I will do
lime. I'm a lime twist guy.
Yeah.
They're
No,
my
it's great.
favorite.
Anybody that's come to my house for a party and like they've left a half-drunk lime Topo Chico, name goes in the register.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You can't just be giving away Topo. They're not bottles of water. They're
I
special.
am not on Topo Chico of this whole craze.
Yeah, they really should be sponsoring.
Wow.
Well, there's alcoholic one story.
Oh, good. Okay, now I'm on board.
All right. I'll partake in one as well. All right,
Excellent.
let's get to it. The Barbie movie is gearing up for its next big weekend at the box office, but some people are using the film as a relationship test. Of course they are. A user on TikTok posted a video asking women to take their boyfriend to see Barbie. So, to see if he is a potential good lifetime partner, meaning their date, especially if he's interested in having an intellectual conversation about the film and its message. So a lot of women responded in the comment section with their partner's take on Barbie. Some were positive, like this person who said, my boyfriend cried and then hugged me at the end of the movie. But others said, I was hoping my husband would try and understand, but he had a hissy fit and it's making me question everything.
Oh, Lord.
Whoa.
Another person wrote, my partner fell asleep and started snoring. I think if you're using Barbie as a test of your relationship, it's not going to work out.
It's
but what do you
indicative
think?
of other issues. I agree with you, Jeff. Yeah, I'm going to agree.
All right.
Anytime it's almost like, what do you say all the time? If you're looking for something, you're always going to find it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if you go digging for something.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're looking for something to resonate with someone else, then you're kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, nothing is going to truly be as important to someone else as it is to you. And so to say that this is going to be the end-all, be-all in terms of a movie is just kind of silly. Now, I have said about my husband, based on one question, I would have known if I was going to stay with him or not. And that's when I got a job offer in another city. And I was like, if he says not to go, then I know that he's not the person for me. And he said to go. But I feel like that's a little different. I feel like there are questions that will really determine your fate versus things that you're like setting up for failure.
Yeah, normally I'd be like, this is ridiculous, this is a dumb story, whatever. I think this is a great story. And I'll tell you why I'm being really serious here. And it's something I've learned later in my non-selfish adult years, is if there's something that means a lot to somebody and you don't want to go, and you are going to go, what I would normally do is just be sarcastic and let it be known that I don't want to be there. I'd be funny, but they would know that I don't want to be there. And I've learned to put on a face and be like, let me go see if there's something here that this person I respect, that they like this so much, there must be something here. And like going into situations thinking differently has really been helpful to me. I know that sounds corny.
No, dude, that's a very adult thing to say.
Because you know me, I'm like a borderline hermit. I don't want to go anywhere. I hate traveling. And so like, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to the aquarium with Tori. I don't feel like going, but I'm going. So let's like,
What's the
we're going to
positive?
find a fish that looks like something, whatever. And just, I try and have fun wherever I go now.
I think that's the most sweetest thing that you have ever said and a very mature thing that you have said. I agree.
Took 45 years.
It took forever.
It really did.
But someone said this, listen, this is some reactions to the Barbie movie. My husband said he wouldn't watch Barbie even if I gave him $1 million.
I would.
Well, or the difference between that and my boyfriend thought Barbie was a masterpiece. Those are two, you don't have to think it's a masterpiece, but to not even want to go to a movie in which it's inspiring a whole generation of people is indicative of a sense of, I'm not on this page of what interests you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know that we can just, this blanket thing
I see
based
that.
on something that people didn't even know was going to be a thing like a year ago, seems like a lot for a true relationship to ride on. There are times where my husband wants me to do something or go somewhere and I do not want to do it or I do not want to go.
Yeah.
And I have such limited time that I'm like, this is my pass. to not go and not do. The same way that he would say that to me about if I said, let's go to the Barbie movie, probably.
Right.
Like, I'm not interested in spending my limited free time on that. And I can respect that. I'm not going to say, well, now you're a part of the patriarchy and you're everything that's wrong with men in America. Like, that's crazy.
That's true.
That's because you have a normal relationship.
That's true.
These don't feel like you're looking to plastic people to better your lifestyle.
But
it's like, sounds insane.
I agree with the whole idea of the plastic people, but the movie itself is like a really interesting metaphor.
I also get your point of view, like, hey, just try it out. Because a lot of, to Al's point, I don't want to go anywhere. And then after I go, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm so glad I did that. Why was I being a jerk?
Exactly.
About it? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's
So
always so much
sacrifice.
worse before you go.
Always,
Yeah.
always. And then, I mean, almost every time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
you know what? That was
anticipatory.
fun. Oh,
Yeah.
why was I being a
jerk.
A hermit?
Yeah.
I said jerk. You got to double down on it.
Yeah. I did.
All right, moving on. There are reports that Tina Fey could be in line to take over SNL when Lorne Michaels steps down. So just to be clear, he hasn't made any official statement on retiring. They're coming up on 50 years, by the way. Meantime, could Pat Sajak's daughter, Maggie, be waiting in the wings to take over Vanna White's job? Vanna's reportedly in contract talks over her salary. Maggie did step in for Vanna back in May during a special episode of the game show. So
She messed it up, too.
Was it the
pressing
first
the letter.
time?
No, I'm kidding. She did fine.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a hard, pressing the things.
Yeah, you want to start with Vanna?
Yeah, look, everybody wrote into the show after we had the discussion of should Vanna and Pat Sajak have the same salary or whatever. The huge consensus that I saw was why Vanna White hasn't had a raise in so long. And we all want that for Vanna.
But I think that was our point overall.
Yeah, it was a bizarre thing and we don't know why. We don't know why, but we all agree on that. I don't know if Maggie Sajak will be approachable to an older audience that likes maybe someone in their age range, if that makes sense.
It's a connection. You know what I mean?
It's
like a bridge
but
that you talked about.
It's
a rough bridge to cross, but you still have Pat Sajak's legacy
It's just
there.
generationally, it's like a big
And I
jump.
wonder if Vanna's like, wow, is this a possibility? Because she's asking for a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is this their counter to like?
It's something that we saw this obviously with Jeopardy. Jeff, I know how you feel about that situation, but Wheel of Fortune, all of these kind of legacy shows, we always think about it from the host or the co-host perspective, but they have a really tough job because they know that they have this fixed audience. It usually skews a little bit older, so they're like, well, our hosts are starting to go. Do we want to make some short-term hires?
Right.
Or do we want to anger our kind of larger audience, but then lock in maybe a younger audience that'll be with us for the next 40 years?
Right.
Because if you make that move and ratings tank, you're talking about the next 40 years. If you're the CEO, the board might fire you tomorrow. So to heck with those 40 years. So it's a really tough place for these shows to be in where they want to have that. That's why I think Pat Sajak's daughter is good, because at least you have the name. You just want to keep these names, something to keep people attached. I think that nothing with Al Trebek stuck with Jeopardy, and that really made it tough for the transition.
How about Tina Fey taking over SNL? Do you think SNL will go on without Lorne Michaels if he does decide to step down?
She's the perfect person. I mean, she is the one that would have that, or Seth Meyers. I would choose Seth Meyers, who is a head writer, or Tina Fey to step in. It's up to them. It's an incredibly difficult job, and you want someone who will be there for the next 20 years. What you don't want is Joe Schmo, Jax, whoever. You want a legacy person like Lorne Michaels has been for the 50 years. So you want someone with legs who knows the show. I don't know. She's 53. It would, 75 years. Would she want to spend the next 20 years doing this? Because that's what you really need in the helm of that position.
What do you think, Erica?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? You want to do the next story?
Yeah.
All right. Singer Ariana Grande has been getting a lot of attention over her love life ever since she separated from her husband. So she's now been linked to her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater, who filed for divorce from his wife earlier this week. I think they've been separated for more than that, but this is the first time they filed. But there are also reports that Ariana was quietly dating Ethan while he was still married. Neither Ariana or Ethan have confirmed that they are dating. Erica, what's going on? What's going on? Are they getting wicked together?
I am impressed by Ethan and whatever he has going on, because Ethan has been batting out of his league for quite some time. God bless bless him.
And let me tell you this,
God bless him.
she is exactly right.
And look at the wife. The wife is gorgeous.
Do we have a picture of her of
name
the other one?
Bombshell.
Her name is Lily J. They both went to my high school. They are Grasshopper Theater kids, and they are stars. We love them in our theater group, okay? This has devastated the Grasshopper
He
Theater
does
form.
look like he's just taking a picture with her.
Yeah. This has
Absolutely.
devastated
He's like,
the
my
theater
dad got
group.
me tickets. Thanks. Wow.
So
Why
anyway-
are you ruining this guy? Good for him. Maybe
No.
he's in.
Well, it looks like he just walked away from his wife and kid for Ariana Grande
He
because he had
did.
the opportunity.
And Ariana-
Tori knows this person?
Yes, Ethan and Lily, both high school sweethearts, went to my high school, the Grasshopper Theater program. We are in shambles. We are angry at Ethan. We are angry at Ethan. We're also angry at Ariana because guess what? She's done this 5 times before. Mac Miller. We've done this with Dalton and Cassie David from Larry David. She split that up. Big Sean. She split that up. Ethan Slater now coming on this.
Who was Mac Miller dating that they split up?
Mac Miller allegedly cheated on a girlfriend with Ariana before they went official together. So I'm just saying, who's the common denominator? Grande? I'll take a tall. I'm not going to make it all the way around.
That's good info.
Thank you. 5? That's a pattern.
Dude, you knocked it
Well-
out of the park, and then it came back in.
Yeah. I want.
Her chair came back. She
I know, but you should have just kept going. That's it.
All right.
There you go. Coming up on DBL, our interview with 80s rock icon Rick Springfield. That's the capital of Illinois. He's telling us all about his new music and why did Doja Cat lose a ton of followers on Instagram? Well, Erica's going to explain in her segment what Erica's watching.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now.
I don't need any improvement.
Talk to Tori. She's perfect.
Yeah, I don't know what to add to this. I think some women are homewreckers.
How old are those two?
I don't know what
They
to
look
add
really
to the
young.
conversation. I
Yeah,
want to say
they look
something
younger than
profound,
that.
but
Mid-
some
20s?
women just get down like that.
And Eric, guess what? Lily J and Ethan, they have a baby. They have a baby. They have a baby together.
Yeah, like a young
What?
a young baby.
under one.
Under
right?
1 years old.
30s?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. See, let me just tell
They
you.
look like they're 12.
Yeah, they do. But let me just tell you. Anytime, this is something that happens on reality TV a lot, because I watch a lot of reality TV. You get a man who comes on and is like, yeah, I'm a dad, I have like X amount of kids. And it's like, oh, how old are your kids? Well, one's 10, one's 7, and one's 6 months. The automatic response to, you have a 6-month-old is the same response to a man that it is to a woman. Like, you are involved in something. There is something that is organically happening in this moment. You can't be like, there's no relationship with the other person unless the other person doesn't exist at all. But there's no relationship with the other person because naturally there's going to be a relationship with the other person if you have a baby under the age of 1. So the idea that, oh, we've been split for some time, no, that is messy. That is trash messy.
That's right.
Because you have
That's
a
right.
new life that y'all have to figure out how life
That's
works
right.
with. So there's no way that you could be like, nah, nothing was going on there.
That's right.
Okay?
And guess what
There's
she
no
said?
way.
Guess what she said? Our family is collateral damage for
Yeah,
this.
there's
That's what she said
no
today.
She said that?
Today.
Oh, that's
collateral
so
damage.
horrible.
The grasshoppers are
There's
so
a
upset.
lot of things that I can listen to and like, okay. Welcome back. Rappers and their fans are going wild. Find out who's on fire and why in this week's What Erica's Watching. Now first, Doja Cat quickly rose to fame with her witty rap skills. Plus, her couture killed the fashion game, making her an even bigger star that seems to be falling? All because of a random rant where she shamed her fan club for their support and for going with the pet name that she gave them. Well, the kittens are clapping back and using their claws to delete fan accounts at the rapper's request. Here's where things get extra catty. Doja told them to get off their phones and help their parents with the house. And after a kitten wanted Doja to make peace, she refused to say she loves her fans simply because she don't know them. Well, it does make sense. Doja Cat doesn't know her fans, but I also get why many of them used to love her. Doja, don't bite the hand or scratch the hand that feeds you, girl. Next, when it comes to ride or die fans, Nicki Minaj's Barbs do not play. It's a Barbie world now more than ever, and Nicki has identified with the iconic doll since the beginning of her rap career. She's even featured on the soundtrack on the new Barbie movie.
All of the Barbies is bad, it girls, and we ain't playing tag. Rad, but he spank me when I get bad. I'm in LA, Rodeo Drive. I'm in New York, Madison Ave. I'm a Barbie girl. Pink Barbie dream house.
Here's where Nicki's army swiftly swarmed into formation on her behalf. Netflix dropped this trailer for Ladies First, a story of women in hip hop.
I celebrate all women because there's space for you.
Or we will always be stronger together than we are apart. That's just how it is.
And well, it seems the highest selling female rapper of all time was snubbed. That's right, Nicki was not included in the trailer. Well, the Barbs were livid and made their beef with Netflix very clear. Well, the 4-part series drops August 9th, so Nicki has gotta be a featured queen. I mean, right? Finally, a fan threw a bra on stage at a Drake concert.
36G. Locate this woman immediately.
And the Champagne Poppy wants to reunite with the concert-going barista, who's now been identified and recruited to pose for Playboy. So her next order of business is to thank Drake by taking him out for a coffee date. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag DBLEricaWatch. We'll be right back.
This week, we've been asking you to tell us your hot weather hacks, and we heard from several of you who said a hot day calls for a cold glass of iced tea. And you've no doubt heard from sports drink companies who tout their beverages as a better way to quench your thirst. So we checked with these sources to find out, are other liquids more hydrating than water? It's quite a battle to get enough fluids, but our experts say the best weapon in most cases is still water. However, keeping in mind the impact of any added sugar to your diet, they say tea and sports drinks aren't bad options when you're feeling thirsty.
There was a very long-standing misunderstanding about caffeine, but it's been debunked now.
While Dr. O'Mara says it's still important not to overindulge in too much caffeine every day, the CDC says caffeine doesn't really have an effect on overall hydration and is not dehydrating like was once thought. Athletes or anyone working in very sweaty conditions could benefit from added ingredients in sports drinks. But for most people, the CDC says eating regular meals is enough to offset the minerals lost in a sweat.
And our kidneys do a beautiful job of regulating how much electrolyte we keep and how much electrolyte we pee away. Normally, water does the trick.
The only thing our experts say to avoid in situations where dehydration could be an issue is alcoholic drinks. Not only are they dehydrating in and of themselves, but they can also keep you from recognizing the other signs and symptoms of heat-related illness. Stay safe out there and stay hydrated. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Jesse's Girl. Okay, welcome back. That was Rick Springfield's timeless hit, Jesse's Girl. And now Rick has a brand new album coming out. And earlier we spoke with him all about it. Check it out.
Please welcome back to the show, Rick Springfield.
Hi there, Mr. Springfield. Before we get to your amazing new album, I have to ask about Jesse's Girl. It's required, of course. You said it's about a girl in your stained glass class, which is amazing, who you liked but had a boyfriend. Did you ever tell that girl that this song was for her? And do you continue to study stained glass?
No, it was a little sidestep. I hadn't had a hit record. I had 3 albums out and hadn't had any success, so I thought I could, support my future family with my stained glass mastery, which is a bit of a joke. So I only did it for like a couple of months, and she was this hot girl in the class and had a boyfriend and took my sexual angst home and wrote a song.
Yeah, baby, I like it.
And she still to this day doesn't know?
Stained glass girl.
No. No one's ever come up to me and said it was me, right? Oprah actually tried to find her. She went back and found the stained glass class, but the guy had died 2 years before, and they threw out all this paperwork a year before she got there. So, that's okay. I mean, I think it's good that no one puts a real face to it.
Yeah.
I think it's, everyone can put their own face to it.
All right, let's talk about Automatic. You did the vocals and played all the guitars and keyboards. So why did you choose to do it all yourself for this album, which is an amazing talent, by the way?
Well, it's really just ego. No, it's actually... I was done differently. I have a home studio, and I went outside and wrote a song and went back in and recorded the whole thing and did that 20 times, and it was just a different way to record. And because it was just me and my engineer, I just decided to play everything, and rather than calling people in, it kept it going fast, and I enjoyed the process. I love playing as much as I can. I've done it before in other albums, but this I did everything on, so it's a little different from that respect. But it doesn't really matter. It all comes down to the song anyway. It doesn't really matter who plays what.
Man, well, I think it's really cool that you dedicated this latest album, Automatic, to your late friend, Maddie Spindell, who was your sound man for over 25 years. And I've learned this because I've lost friends as well. You always ask, what was your favorite memory of them? And it really kind of snaps you out and it puts you in a good place. So I want to ask you the same about Maddie.
Well, the song I wrote for Maddie on the album is called "She Walks with the Angels," and I used the feminine on that because we used to call him the little woman, and because he had a great sense of humor. He was a small-statured guy with very long hair, and he'd go out with his girlfriend to restaurants and sit with his back to the waiter, so that when the waiter came up, he'd say, "How can I help you, ladies?" And he'd turn around with his beard, and the waiter would be so embarrassed he'd bring free dessert. So that was Maddie's big trick.
I love it. And look, you're laughing now. That's beautiful. You're hitting the road soon for the I Want My 80s tour. How would you compare touring now to touring in the 80s?
There's less pressure now, and I go out when I want to go out. This tour is actually, the first leg is like 20 days long, which is actually kind of freaking me out. It's the most I've been out on the road since like 1985.
That's a lot, man.
Usually I go out for like a week and then go home, because as you get older, I think you want to be with the ones you love, and I'm grateful to have an audience, and that's really why I go out and play, is because that lifts me up to be able to play for the people that come to the show, and it's really the new church, I mean, that's where you commune with your fellow man, woman.
Absolutely.
You're all thinking the same thing and looking the same direction and celebrating the same emotions and music, and I love that.
I love that. Take Me to Church. That's a Sinead O'Connor reference.
Oh, wow.
Rick, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, be sure to listen to Rick's new album, Automatic, out August 4th. And for all your summer cocktails, be sure to pick up a bottle of Rick's rum brand,
Wow.
Beach Bar Rum.
Look at that.
Thank you again, Rick. Congratulations.
Mazel.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Looking good.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Air conditioning is something that is tough to live without, especially in the summer. So we wanted to verify if your AC goes out, is your landlord required to fix it?
For this question, we turn to legal expert Liz Mitchell and Texas Tenants Union Executive Director Dewey Marshall. Marshall says the first thing you should do is mail your landlord or leasing manager a maintenance request. Sending a request in through your leasing portal is not legally protected.
The tenant rights in Texas are not triggered until the landlord receives one repair and remedy request through trackable form of mail. Let's keep a receipt, so a return receipt, so that we know that the actual repair and remedy request has been submitted.
If nothing is fixed after a week or two, tenants have 3 options.
They have 3 different options in Texas. They can stay in their unit and sue their landlord. They can move out of their unit, terminate their lease without penalty, and sue their landlord. Or they can repair and deduct.
Repair and deduct is when the tenant pays for the AC fix out of pocket and deducts the cost from their rent. If the tenant decides to sue, there are things the tenant cannot do.
You have to be current on your rent at the time that you have sent the certified letter. If you're in arrears on your rent, then that's going to affect your case. You shouldn't take it upon yourself to stop paying your rent.
According to Texas Property Code, the best way to win a suit in this case is to prove that your health and safety is being threatened.
If you want to terminate your lease, it's important to consult with an attorney first so that you're getting damage deposits back, so that you're not stuck contractually finishing out the term of your lease. You just want to make sure that you're doing everything within the law supported by the Texas Property Code to get you out of that lease and into an apartment that's more habitable.
So we can confirm, yes, landlords are responsible for fixing your AC when it goes out, as long as the tenant can prove they are living in uninhabitable conditions.
Gas prices are high across the country, and some on social media are claiming that changing your tire pressure would help increase the mileage and reduce cost. So, let's verify. Can properly inflating your tires help improve your gas mileage? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and Sean Huff, staff researcher at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. According to the DOE, the correct PSI, or pounds per square inch of tire pressure, can boost your gas mileage up to 3%. With the current price of gas across the country, that's the equivalent of saving more than 10 cents per gallon of gas. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also said properly inflating your tires can save you money, but only 19% of drivers actually do so.
As the tire pressure goes down below the optimum pressure, the tire deforms or flattens. And as the tire flattens, then it's more difficult for the tire to roll on the pavement. And then that, of course, requires more energy to move the vehicle down the road.
So we can verify, yes, properly inflated tires can improve your car's fuel economy. To find your car's correct PSI, you'll need to check the sticker inside the driver's side door. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
All right, that does it for us. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Tori's already pulling some Topo Chicos under his